And so I just want to introduce Mark Baker. Give him a warm powwow welcome.
Thank you. All right, well, this is a leadership conference, and I've been asked to come here and talk to you about our situation, and I will do that. Okay, first of all, thanks for having me. I'm honored to be before you right now. I truly am. Tell you a little bit about myself. I was in the United States Air Force for 20 years. I went in 1984. And I hung around until 2004. I was honorably discharged in 2004 and I retired. I moved to Michigan with my wife and 5 children, and that was in 2004. 2014, now it's my wife and I have 8 children. So we've been farming. And we came here, yeah, kid around, farming's all about fertility. We came here to set up a farming operation because when I was in the military, the best men that I worked with were farm kids, without a doubt. Good attitude, you know, they could take anything, and I wanted that for my children. That was why we decided to farm. We settled in Marion, Michigan. We bought an 80-acre farm, and we started raising beef, pork, chicken, and now we milk a few cows. We do a little produce. We also have a Anyone Can Farm program where we teach people how to farm the way we do, kind of the sustainable ag model. And things were going along pretty good, all right, pretty good. 2011, I found out from one of my chefs that the Department of Natural Resources had leveled what they call a declaratory ruling. And that declaratory ruling gave 9 characteristics, and if your pig had even one of those characteristics, your pig was classified as feral. And I have the declaratory ruling with me right here, and I don't need to even look at it. I have it quite memorized. I'll have this on the table if you want to see it, but it's on the DNR's website. And the 9 characteristics are things like a straight tail, curly tail, erect ear, floppy ear, solid black, solid red. And then the 9th characteristic, my favorite, is other characteristics not currently known to the DNR. Now, they threatened me with a felony arrest, and I refused to comply with the order. And yeah. They threatened to come to my farm and arrest me in front of my children and kill my animals. They threatened to do that. When I wouldn't comply, the Attorney General got involved, and they leveled a $700,000 fine against me and my wife. We had no choice but to sue the state for clarification on the law, and we went round and round with the state trying to get a trial. We thought that if we could just go to trial in front of God and country, the state would have to explain straight tails, curly tails, and other characteristics not currently known. Never mind the fact that I don't believe there is a feral swine problem here in the state of Michigan. Just for fun, who saw a dead deer on the side of the road on the way here today? Okay. Did anybody see a dead swine on the side of the road? Not even one. No dead pigs, any live pigs. So I think that's proof positive that we do not have a problem to the point where the DNR needs to go after farm pigs to get what they want done. Okay, and we got to within 10 days of trial, and all of a sudden the DNR claimed that we had complied with the declaratory ruling, which I'm here to testify that I did not comply with the declaratory ruling. I did nothing. They just knew that if we had gone to trial, they would have had to explain things, and some illegal activity would have been exposed. So they dropped the charges against me after 2.5 years and many, many thousands of dollars, and therefore there was no conflict, and the judge dismissed the case. Now, what's the problem with the declaratory ruling? This is not about pigs. This is about personal property, all right? The Fifth Amendment protects The Fifth Amendment protects my property, right? My property happens to be pigs, but they're legal one day, and then because of a declaration, they become illegal the next day. Now I want to show you something. This is the declaratory ruling. It's got a staple on the corner. I think you could understand it better if it was like this. The king has declared any pig with a straight tail is illegal. There was no due process of law. That's a violation of my Fifth Amendment. If my Fifth Amendment is violated, so is yours. When I stood up, it was the same as when I stood up and took an oath to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States. I took that oath 5 times throughout my enlistment in the Air Force. And towards the end of my enlistment, I was a lot more fervent about it because I was older and I'd seen people die for that document. Then I come back to the States and I see our leaders, people we elect, that take that oath to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States, and they trample it. I'm disgusted with my leaders here in the state of Michigan, absolutely disgusted. I've said to my wife and family that this is the best country that you could ever want to live in. And that is the absolute truth, because I've been around the world, and there is no better place to live than the United States of America. Freedom is not put in place, and we don't put it in place and walk away. We have to maintain it. So when something like this comes down, straight tails, curly tails, your property, we say it's illegal. We're the DNR. I don't care if it's a DNR or DEQ. There was no due process of law. I cannot take that. If you have people in office right now that have trampled my rights, still trample your rights, we've petitioned them. When this first happened, we went to leadership. You know who I'm talking about. We went to leadership and said, hey, you see what's happening here? We thought they'd say, oh, we can't do this. We can't trample a guy's constitutional rights. They poured it on. They treated me like a peasant. How dare you question our authority? Well, I can't handle that. I'm not going to put up with it, and I won't. So here's what we did. We challenged the state to a fair fight in a court of law. Let's have an argument, let's have a discussion, and let's see who's right. And what did they do? They ran us at the 11th hour, and they dropped the charges against us. We racked up hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of legal bills. The state racked up nothing. They just took money out of my back pocket to use on me. They took your money to use on me. So what are we going to do? We're going to let it go there? I don't think we should. The next fight will be even worse. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a movie. We're going to make a documentary, and we're going to tell the story, the whole story. So everybody knows what happened. And I think the message should be, we have good government, we have a good system, we have a good balance of power, we have a beautiful country, we have beautiful people. But Michigan, you have a leadership problem, and that can be dealt with. But you've got to get busy, and you've got to get just as mean as they are and get rid of them. Weed them out and throw them on the pile. And get someone in office that will respect this document. Respect this document. And that should be the vetting process. And send a clear message. I don't care what party you are. Are you a constitutionalist? And that should be the message. Thank you very much.